This Minecraft video has 77 million views. And what's crazy, it was uploaded by a channel with only 2 videos prior and less than 40,000 views total. And yet somehow it broke the internet? Today, we'll be finding out how by breaking it down into 5 stages, starting with the title and thumbnail. So at first glance, the thumbnail looks pretty basic, but there's actually a few key things that MysteryOre does really well to grab your attention. The first key concept I want to mention is the curiosity gap, which is basically how a thumbnail grabs your attention and creates questions in your mind that have to be answered by clicking on the video. Firstly, how the title's phrased, the way Mojang intended it, suggests that there is a right way to beat the game, and everyone else has been doing it wrong. And this is reinforced by the Mojang approved in the thumbnail. The setting is a small cobblestone house in the Nether, and this seems like something that a newer player would do, or that Mojang would recommend to a newer player. All of this adds legitimacy to the video, and a sense that there is actually a right way to beat the game, and that we don't know it. And that is so enticing to anyone that would come across this video. Furthermore, it appeals to a huge range of audiences. Veteran players could see this and be so curious as to what Mojang actually thought would be the best way to beat Minecraft. And then newer players who actually wanted to know how to beat Minecraft could easily stumble across this through search. And because of the Mojang approved, it seems legit. But now let's get down to the viewer psychology. Take a look at the color scheme. The cobblestone house is grey on a bright red background, with the white writing on top. The colors contrast perfectly and make it so visible. On top of that, red is a high wavelength color, meaning our retinas pick it up quicker than they would a blue or a green, which makes it so easily seeable in your peripheral vision. Think of like a massive stop sign, with the white writing on the red background. This video is like a massive stop sign in a way. And of course, you guys know that red signals danger. It triggers the emotional center on our brain called the amygdala before rational processing even kicks in. And so together, it pretty much forms a biological stop and read command in your brain. And lastly, he uses the rule of thirds really well to frame the image, with the top of the house perfectly aligned with the upper grid line, which makes the thumbnail as a whole just way easier on the eyes. But once you've clicked on the video, how does MysteryOre grab your attention in the first 10 seconds? Something MysteryOre's mastered is confirming the click. Coming into this video, the viewer is kind of expecting to be told that they're wrong and they don't know how to play Minecraft. And he confirms this immediately with the first thing he says.
Think you know how to play Minecraft? Well, you don't.
And then immediately after that, he shows you the guides. And this is so crucial because it means the viewer understands the premise of the video literally within the first 3 seconds. From this exact shot, the viewer can tell that the video is going to revolve around these guides and he's going to be following them to beat the game. The viewer's probably intrigued as to what the guides look like or what they might say. Now, let's talk more about the tone of the intro. The very first shot has that element of comedy of him putting on the gloves, which makes the whole thing seem very official and serious. The white gloves signal like a sterile environment almost. It also stands out really well against the black background as well. Him unsheathing the blade to open up the books is also another one of these funny, serious moments. But you can tell that he's completely self-aware. It immediately just sets the tone of the video. The viewer knows they're going to get exactly what they signed up for. Plus, they know it's going to be entertaining and lighthearted, which makes them invested in the video and means that they're way less likely to drop off later. Something to mention is that there's no fancy editing at all, but the cuts are very fast paced at the start. He cuts 12 times within the first 7 seconds, so an average of just over half a second per cut, which keeps the viewer very visually engaged. Pay attention to the way he frames each cut as well. The subject constantly stays in the same spot between cuts. This is amazing awareness of eye tracking, and it means the start feels very easy to watch. Let's extend it to the first 30 seconds now, where the goal is to build off the momentum of the first 10 and commit the viewer to the whole video. From seconds 10 to 15, he's constantly showing the books again.
I now know the secrets they have been keeping from us.
His use of the word secrets again alludes to the fact that there's things that are hidden from us that we don't know. From seconds 15 to 23, he starts to give us some more insights into some of these secrets that he mentioned. He shows us an actual page from the guide, and the viewers know they'll keep learning things like this throughout the video. He also keeps posing questions really well.
Did you know Jeb is a simp?
Why is Jeb a simp? I want to know. He's building intrigue. From second 23 to 30, he shows us another fact, but then he switches the tone of the video. He breaks the pattern.
And did you know that mobs?
Okay, so straight away, that stands out because his uncertain tone there suggests that he's desperate and almost looking for our approval to keep us watching. He then shows us the guide again, gives us a bit more information, and uses this to build up to a comedy moment.
Pretty cool, right? I'm in crippling debt. Anyways,
This whole comedy moment is actually a really good example of a mini tension to payoff loop. He introduces the tension with the desperate tone, and when the tension builds and the viewer's wondering why he's talking like this, the music cuts and we get the line. Obviously this is a very concise tension loop, and usually in storytelling these would last several minutes, but just by doing that, it adds to the intrigue of the video. After this first 30 seconds, you can tell this is a high quality video. You can tell that you're gonna learn more, and you can tell that you're gonna be entertained, and that's what keeps the viewer actually watching. Now, obviously we can't analyze the whole video in this much detail, but let's dive into some of the storytelling techniques MysteryOre uses. After the first 30 seconds, we go into a small audience participation moment, which lasts 25 seconds. Think about how much detail he gives us in the first 30 seconds, and compare it to this one idea in 25. This slows the pacing of the video right down, and lets the audience kind of catch their breath after the fast intro. One theme throughout this video is MysteryOre's actual inexperience with Minecraft. The way we know this is because when he enters the Nether, he mentions that it looks a lot different to how it looks in the guide. But this visible inexperience is actually a good thing here. It shows us how a newer player can actually use the guides, which is kind of what the viewer was hoping for when they clicked on the video. Something else MysteryOre uses really well is pattern interrupts. He'll throw in a loud and fast food collecting montage here, Enderman killing montage here, but then he'll contrast it with a quieter moment. Like look at this for example. Now, normally I wouldn't recommend showing just furnaces smelting in a video, but the contrast from loud and fast to quiet is so effective at keeping your attention here. And to end things off, let's explore why exactly this video feels so unique. One core concept in this video is the color white. At the start he has the white gloves, the white keyboard and mouse, and he's constantly cutting to white throughout the video so that you can focus on his voice. White is often seen as a very professional color, and so it adds to the professional feel of the video and of the guides. Again, his audio quality is top notch. There's moments like this.
this bluish biome seems to be home to a good amount of Endermen, so I'm gonna kill a few and hopefully we can get some Ender
Where
pearls.
the voiceover keeps going despite a cut in the video, which hints that maybe a lot of the voiceover was recorded after he recorded the gameplay. But the way he integrates it into the video, I bet you didn't notice. The last thing I think is important to mention is the timing of the upload. You had things like MCC, the Dream SMP, and unique personalities were really taking the spotlight, and none of these guys used any fancy editing either. And it just shows that all you need is a good story and a good person to tell it. All the notes I made for this video are in the link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys.